actually perfectly leads to another example that we discussed on the kind of like when you get so anal about position that we had that example of the spine and that attempt that we oftentimes hear or see that people are like, oh, you have to keep like your spine completely straight. And then you do bring the example of the toddler squatting, for instance, where we do see something else than that picture perfect straight spine or that double S shaped spine. Tell us a bit more about that.
Mhm. Okay, so first things first. I think we can all agree that you don't want your spine to move under load from your starting position to your finish position. Okay, what do I mean by under load? I'll tell you what it's not under load for me. So every body weight stuff that you can do, whether that's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, whether that's dancing, whether that's ballet, whether that's doing any sport that involves a ball, this is an unloaded spine for me. So now all the nerds are going to be like, but it's still technically loaded. It's like, whatever. This is unloaded for me. Loaded means external weight on your body, whether you're holding it in front, so on your belly and the front leg, or put it on your shoulders, doesn't matter. That's a loaded position for me. In a loaded position, the only thing I want to make sure is that your spine does not move, whatever your starting position looks like, towards the finish position of your spine. That means, and this is not about an S shape or some sort of weird form, whatever you give me for your current mobility, your current strength, whatever you want to call it, picking up something, the only thing I want to make sure is this spine position, this spine form you're in, picking stuff up, is not going to change once you have it picked up. That's the only thing I care about.
That's just
That's
that
point.
I want to just interrupt you real quick because this is I kind of want to stress how different this is than the normal approach because I've always been told and I'm so used to also hearing other people being told not like, okay, let's work with what you have and let's bring that package and make sure that there is no movement. But it's always like, okay, that's your starting package and move this here, this there, and then let's start.
Yeah, but I think we have it flipped around because what happens is because we have an ideal shape of an S shape of a spine. And this is okay, this is right now the common sense is okay, this needs to be maintained no matter what you're doing. And I think that's fundamentally wrong. That's really fundamentally wrong. And we can go into depth about this because your spine is going to change that S shape as soon as you load it, if you like it or not. If you want to pick something up off the floor, it is going to change. There's no way you can pick something off the floor with an S shape of your spine. It's not meant to be. If you watch a kid, a toddler, pick stuff up, yes, it tries to stay upright with its upper body and squat down. But as soon as it gets quote unquote too heavy for squatting it up with a straight back, it leans over, brings the knees back over your heels. That's just what we talked about because that's max hamstring and glute engagement. Kids are smart. They have no clue about this, by the way. They just do it. That's max hamstring and glute engagement. They bring their hips up to get even more engagement. And then they're in a what us super smart adults would say compromised position of your spine.
Mhm.
That couldn't be further from the truth. Any spine position is fine. Any, as long as you don't change it from start to finish, right? What's being done right now is we're either not increasing the load that people can pick off the floor, so they getting close to the perfect position, which guess what? It's not delivering them progress and they're going to stop training because it's boring and they don't see progress. Who knew? So you got to keep them super safe while using light weights and making them look perfect, but they die inside, they have no progress and soon lose motivation. There's a great quote which says most people die at 25, but they don't get buried until they're 75.
Mhm.
And I think that's the current approach in training. Like uh, training involves risks. Yes, get over it. My job is to make sure I'm going to reduce the risk as much as possible. But it's stupid to assume that it's going to be zero risk while training. Welcome to life, by the way, right? You can go through life and just, oh, I'm not going to pick up anything heavy. My back could hurt. And you know what? You're going to fuck up your back by doing this because at some point in your life, you're going to be forced to pick something heavy up. If a family member falls over in a burning house, you're not gonna like. There's no choice. There's no choice in picking something up if you're living life. I'd rather prepare you for it than pretend we're gonna be in picture perfect positions. We're gonna barbell deadlift 20 kilos, and you're looking great. You're looking fine, exactly, and you're killing progress and your soul in the same process. So that's not where I'm heading towards. My thing is what we're looking for in lifting natural objects that fit in between your hands. That's what we did until 150 years ago, until the barbell showed up. This happens what I call with an ape shape of your spine. An ape shape is a slightly rounded upper back. That's the fucking strongest position of your upper back. Look at strongmen picking up stones. Look at people deadlifting 500 kilos. Nobody overextends or extends their upper back. This is the shiny light stuff that you see on Instagram. Real people don't lift like this. The lumbar spine is going to be straighter than you think because once you bend over and your hips are starting to tilt, which is normal because your glutes turn on, your hamstrings turn on, your lumbar spine is going to be fairly straight and not in a weird, like whatever you kind of C shape anymore. This is the strongest position of your spine to lift stuff off the floor. Again, don't change the position from start to finish. That's what needs to be trained. That what needs to be loaded. And this is how we can win. And this is how we in the gym actually brought people back from herniated discs, like
Mhm.
myself, from herniated discs, from all the funky stuff that happens in your lumbar spine, if you don't know what you're doing. And stuff that's out there at the moment is exactly what you should be not doing. This is how we prepare people. This is the ape shape that everybody should learn, picking up stuff off the floor that fits in between your hands. This is what you should be learning. If you don't trust me, that's fine. And I only trust, to be honest, I only trust results that I create, toddlers, and studies that I personally fake. So that means I'm going to stick with the toddlers right here and not believe any movement scientists out there that have never lifted above 50 kilos in their whole life.
Speaking
Ranting
of
over.
speaking of herniated discs, what are your go-to measures and your go-to exercises when you meet someone, for instance, in the gym, who has had a herniated disc and is now coming back to training?
Okay. The first thing you have to realize, and I had a herniated disc, I got carried out of my own gym 7, 8 years ago, like that bad. Like I couldn't
Mhm.
move. Somebody literally brought me in the car. I was on the back seat in super pain. So I know where this is coming from and I've experienced it myself. The first thing you have to realize is this is A, it's not fate. B, it's about learning stuff that you have no clue about. And this is exactly where I was 7, 8 years ago. I didn't know about anything about positions and muscles that move bones somewhere and bones setting up muscles so they can actually do their job. So you have to get rid of this is a dangerous position. There is no dangerous position. It's just you're maybe too unknowledge, and that's fine. And I'm going to help you gain a little bit more knowledge. There's no bad position. There's no overextended spine. There's no underextended spine. There's no forget about all this. You have to learn two things: where bones should be and where those bones should be moved by muscles and which job they have to do. Once you learn that, there's no dangerous position at all out there. This is a different approach than avoiding stuff, right? I know it's psychologically hard because once you have sharp lower back pain, like myself, bending over, I snatched 120 kilos. Not sure. I snatched 105 kilos. Let's be realistic here. I snatched 105 kilos. And once I caught it, like it immediately hit my lower back. And I was done. I was out. So that means that position in my brain is now associated with a
Mhm.
lot of pain, with a trauma, which is pretty obvious because it actually happened. So the most natural thing now is to avoid the position. I get it. That's human. That's normal, but it's not the way to get out of there. Um, there's only one way out, and that way is through, but not that stupid in either the lowest stimulus possible, laying on the floor and breathing in, nor going back to snatching immediately with 100 kilos. There's a lot of stuff you can do in between. So getting used to using your obliques, getting used to doing stuff like in the tremendous strength template, like the sushi stick the sushi stick exercises, like just learning how to stabilize your hips using your obliques, learning how to use it in all different kinds of shapes and forms with the three jobs, stabilizing, producing, and absorbing. This is the way out of unknowledge and being a victim, being the prey for either an exercise or a movement or, I don't know, life that's happening to you. It's not fate. It's just we have to realize nobody educated us on movement. Who educated you on movement? Nobody. You're just doing sports. And I want to add to this, I want to educate a little bit more so you have it under control if shit happens. That's fine.
So for anyone, for instance, who is on the traveling circus where all the templates can be found, it's a good go-to, I guess, to start with the trunk template. And would you also say with the Holy Hip Healer, or am I wrong there?
Yes, all three templates, whether that's the shoulder template, the sexy shoulder, the whole hip healer, because it all works together. Most people don't have a lower back issue. They have actually a neutral pelvis issue. So they're always tilting their pelvis under load, which creates tremendous force and shear forces on your lower back. So you don't literally have like a spine problem. Most people don't even have like a trunk or ab problem. They have they cannot stabilize the hips. And as soon as the hips start moving either to the front or to the back, guess who's gonna pay the price? Because your lower back is gonna move with your hips, with your pelvis. Because guess what? Your sacrum and your lumbar spine are connected, and the sacrum is connected with the pelvis. So as soon as the pelvis moves, your lumbar spine has to move. The weird thing for me is everybody out there in the fitness world is teaching the ape shape. For example, when you're on your back and doing sit-ups, everybody tells people like, okay, press your lower back on the ground. How come? How come we're changing the S-shaped position where we're on the floor trying to reach our trunk muscles? But all of a sudden, this is a bad position, around the back position, once you want to lift something heavy off the floor. I don't get it. So it's actually being done, just the dots are not connected yet. But that's what I want to help, connect the dots and have you or anybody else out there have less back pain and have have a roadmap and have a path that you can control out of there. So you're not reliant on other people, no matter if it's a fitness coach, no matter if it's a doctor, no matter if it's a physio. Educate yourself so you have your life under control. That's what a lot of people, including me, have been missing. And I would love to help educate that.
Cool.
Cool. I think we're done for the day.
Yeah.
Sweet. Good questions. Bring them on. I hope this videos help you guys out there. Send us questions, like the videos or don't like the videos, no matter what. Give us feedback, right? Too complicated, different stories, different sports, different problems. Bring it on. We'll talk about it, and I guess we'll see each other next week.